Hey everyone, this is Ty with Spicy Exotics. It's 2020, July, and we're going to do a walkthrough tonight because we have a little bit of activity, but we have a special guest that's going to do the walkthrough with us tonight, Mr. Donovan Vasta.
Hey.
How's it going, Donovan?
Pretty good.
All right. So it's about 85 degrees. It's in comparison to last night, Donovan experienced
a thunderstorm.
Yeah, for the first time, right?
Oh yeah, just came in and came out. It only lasted about 10 or 15 minutes, but it poured 1/3 of an inch of rain.
And I have to say it was pretty cool because it was kind of the first of our flower cycle that was kicking off, and you'll see a continuation of that tonight. But we probably put, what, 20 or so grocery bags?
Yeah, over the flower buds. We kind of prevented them from getting beat up and wet by the rain.
So that was pretty interesting, and woke up early this morning and went ahead and pollinated those flowers. So Donovan, before we start walking through, or let's start walking through here, because we want to try to keep this video not too long. How would you say the growing characteristics are different from here in Louisiana versus Southern California?
Well, definitely, like we said right now, like rain is one of them. Like I would never have to do that in a million years, like cover flowers because of the threat of rain. So that's one thing that's very different. Another thing is your humidity. It's much more humid here, and you get cloud cover every now and then, and the sunlight's not nearly as intense. So the plants look a lot less stressed out even when it's over 100 degrees. They don't tend to get the sun scalding that I see in California.
Yeah, cool. So let's get the party started here.
All right.
So we have a little bit of activity. I'll kind of just touch base on a few of these varieties. We have a Zamorano here, and what's the flavor profile of Zamorano in California?
A lot of people describe it as earthy or bland, but you said over here the flavor is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and you also said the fruit's kind of small, right?
It tends to be on the smaller side.
That was in previous conversations we had, but that's some fruit here that from an earlier flower cycle. And the reason why I bring up Zamorano, not only it has active flower buds, but it also provides plenty of flower buds, and it's one of the early ones. So if you're looking for a good pollinator, it's pretty good. It is self-sterile, but it works. Its pollen works pretty well with most other varieties. So over on this side, we have some busy activity, and we got a little project here. I finally have an extra set of hands. So Donovan, let's go around here, and we're gonna grab some pollen off of this Radiana variety. I talk about how good of a pollinator this guy is, but we want to show how generous this particular variety is. So this flower right in front of us here.
Down in here. Yeah, the anthers are loaded with pollen. If you look on the flower, on the petals, I don't know if you can see that.
I'm trying to get some light here. It's not the easiest thing.
There's quite a bit of pollen on the petals right now. We got quite a bit of pollen.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
We've collected quite a bit of pollen throughout the night already.
Yeah. So it's one of my favorites to get pollen off of. It typically has lots and lots of flowers and blooms. Tonight it's doing a pretty good show for us with 6 to 7 flowers or so. Here we have a natural mystic. And Donovan, y'all have a little bit of history with natural mystic in California. This for us has been self-fertile.
Yes.
But that hasn't necessarily been the case in California.
I think I might have had a different variety that was given to me. It doesn't look like this variety. I had one cutting sourced from another nursery, and I had the cutting sourced from Spicy Exotics, and the cutting that produced flowers sourced from another nursery it never produced fruit on its own. It was kind of hard to get fruit from it. Whereas the plant that I got from Spicy Exotics was the true variety because it actually was able to set fruit on its own, no hand pollination whatsoever.
And I think we actually sourced our plant from a local nursery that sourced their plant material from Pine Island Nursery in South Florida, which I'm not quite sure if that variety is still available, but always trust your source to get what you're looking for, especially in the event when it comes to self-fertility. Yeah. So we have 3 more greenhouses to walk through, so let's go see what's happening here. We have some of our newer varieties that we have populating in here, and as we're walking through here, there's quite a bit of insects. How do y'all deal with insects? Do y'all have any of those?
Not a whole lot. If anything, we just put up a little mosquito lamp and it takes care of most of them. But I mean, before walking through Ty's greenhouses, you have to actually clear the spider webs. Every night, spiders kind of descend on the greenhouse and set up shop here to collect insects. Yeah, here's a simple example of that. This is small, but imagine all these walkways we have with spider webs literally going from dragon fruit to dragon fruit. So if you walk out here without lights on, there's nothing wrong. It's just that you can end up with a bunch of spider webs all over you, and with some little creepy crawlies crawling around. So this is a Mr. Wu variety, and the pollen, this is a 2nd year flowering. I kind of want to showcase it for just a few seconds here. This particular flower really let out a lot of pollen, so it could be, you know, one of those next great varieties. I'm not quite sure. Do you recall if it's self-sterile or self-fertile? In our experience, it's been self-sterile in California. Okay, like most reds are. We'll jump back around. Now, in comparison, in your visit here, how would you say, like, what varieties are doing better, you would say, here in Louisiana, and what varieties are doing better in California? A lot of the yellow type varieties, the Megalanthus type varieties like the Pelora, the Yellow Thai, and the Frankie's Red all seem to do extremely well here in Louisiana, whereas a lot of the Guatemalan varieties don't seem to do quite as well here as they do in California. Right on. So in front of us here is a Frankie's Red. It's just starting to do its flower buds here, and next to it is a Yellow Thai. And what I'm going to do with this Yellow Thai is go around here, because there's more flower buds on the other side. It's a little more impressive, which is also a self-fertile variety. You can see here, it's just loaded with flower buds. Really, really good variety. And next to it is Pelora, and it is just starting its flower cycle here. Take a look at that, and you can see here, like Donovan said, it's doing really well here. And in somewhat of an argumentative defense, I would say that Donovan's right. We're not having a whole lot of sunburn, but we are in July, so his experience here, we do get a little bit of sunburn, but I don't think it's nearly as intense. As we get into August and September, it will get worse, but it would also get worse in California, correct? Yeah, correct. All right, well, let's wrap things up here in this last greenhouse here, and this is where the Guatemalan species are that you were comparing. So this is where California does really, really good. We have some long, skinny growth. This is a Shana variety. We have a Paisley variety here, a G2. All of these are Guatemalan clones with an American beauty. And we'll take a closer look at some of these clones here when we get closer to the end. Some of these are Paul Thompson's. This is the Purple Flesh greenhouse. Here is our Guatemalensis. Thank you. And it's our only purple flowering tonight. And as you can see here, you know, the plant is just skinny. Right. But
that's not necessarily the case. Here we have a purple haze next to it, and if you can see what my fingers look like next to it, it's about twice the size of this Guatemalan species. Although it does have Guatemalan in it, it's a
hybrid.
It's definitely a hybrid, but that other undatus that's part of this species helps it grow a lot thicker. So about how thick does the Guatemalan species get, and how does it tolerate heat and whatnot in California?
It'll get full size in California, at least in my area. Pretty thick like this. They do get a little bit more sunburn than some of the other varieties, but a few of them I've done really well with are Shayna and American Beauty. Those seem to be a little bit superior clones of the Guatemalan species. Condor has also done very well for me, but I haven't experienced Condor being self-fertile like some people have with American Beauty and Shayna.
Gotcha. All right, and just to kind of wrap things up here, this is the final wrap up. I know I've said that a couple times. Along our fence line, we have a few more hybrids. And rather tiny flower here, but it's a Yellow Cross 68. And for the first time tonight, closing out our varieties, we have a new variety we'll be offering soon. It's a purple flowering variety, and it's Ausenta 4. And Donovan, you have any special information you'd like to share on Ausenta 4 that you may know about?
Well, I'll just say, like, when you try the fruit, you'll be in for a big surprise.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, guys, this concludes our video. Donovan, thank you so much. We enjoyed your visit here in South Louisiana. We look forward to more visits with us going to California and doing more dragon fruit videos and talks. And everyone, please share your comments, and thank you for watching.